Algebra 2, Part 1 solutions, starting with question 11. I already have them written out, but I'll walk you through them. Which binomial is a factor of x to the fourth minus 4x squared minus 4x plus 8? You have four answer choices. You're going to test each of them. The first one has a factor of x minus 2. If that is the case, then x equals 2 with the opposite sign would be the root. So I'm going to plug in that x value and see if my output is 0. It just happens that choice 1 works out to have an output of 0. So that definitely is the solution. That is the factor. X minus 2 is one of the factors of this expression. However, you could test out all the other choices. The second one has a factor of x plus 2. That would mean that x equals negative 2 would have to be a root. But when you evaluate that into the function that you're given, it doesn't work out to have an output of 0. Same is the case with choice 3. The same is the case with choice 4. Question 12. Solve 2 over x minus 3x over x plus 3 is equal to x over x plus 3. We're going to have to find the least common denominator. A factor of x is used in the denominator, and so is x plus 3. So the LCD must be the product of x times x plus 3, which is also, it could be rewritten as x squared plus 3x if you distribute. The best thing to do is to multiply each of these terms by that LCD, and I'm going to leave it in factored form to make it easier to reduce. What you're going to notice is that the x and the x in the denominator are going to cancel. You're going to just be left with 2 times x plus 3. Over here, the x plus 3 is going to cancel with the x plus 3 of the LCD in the numerator, and you're going to be left with 3x times x equals, sign comes down, and then you're going to have x plus 3 canceling with the x plus 3 of the LCD, so you're just going to be left with x times x. 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 3 is 6, and then you're going to, over here you're going to get minus 3x squared equals x squared. I'm going to move everything over here so that I could have it equal to 0. Remember, you can't solve a quadratic equation unless it equals 0. I'm going to subtract x squared from both sides, and we're going to be left with negative 4x squared plus 2x plus 6 equals 0. I'm going to use the quadratic formula in this case to find the roots. I'm going to use an a value of negative 4, a b value of 2, and a c value of 6. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a is going to work out to be this when substitutions are made. And then what you're going to notice is here under the square root, bring everything down, but under the square root we're going to focus on 2 squared is going to be a 4, and then we're going to end up having a positive 96 after those are multiplied. And it's over negative 8 since 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. This is going to lead you to be negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 100 over negative 8. The square root of 100 can be evaluated to be a 10. So it could be negative 2 plus or minus 10 over negative 8. Over here I'm going to start off by using the plus sign. I'm going to do negative 2 plus 10. Get that to be an 8. Divide by negative 8. X equals negative 1 is one of the solutions. And then I'm going to use x equals negative 2 plus or minus 10 over negative 8, but I'm going to use the minus sign. So I'm going to do negative 2 minus 10 is negative 12, over negative 8 is 3 halves. The one thing that you want to verify is that your solutions are not extraneous. The only way that it's going to be extraneous in this case is if your denominator is 0, because remember, a denominator of 0 makes something undefined. Over here, if x is 0, it's going to make it undefined, and if it's negative 3, it's going to make it undefined too, because negative 3 plus 3 would be 0. Neither of your choices are that way, so they're both valid solutions.